Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. It's Monday. It's not a bad day. We'll take that. Go ahead and do yourself a favor and come join the family by hitting that like, subscribe, and that notification bell if you're new to the page. Welcome to all of you that are new. We got a lot of new people. We're going to go right into the markets, okay? Listen, first, this is brought to you by Stock Up You. It will be the top link below. We'll talk about that later. Let's get into some news, okay? The news that helps you avoid the blues. Now, the facts that helps you to make stacks. Nah, we'll come back to that later. I'm slap happy. I didn't sleep much, good people. All right, let's get right into it. Let's look at what's going on with these indices. All right, so we got the S&P up 21 points. We could see I got them stacked according to how many points they're up, not percentile. We got the Russell up 34 points, NASDAQ, and then the Dow came roaring back almost 300 points. But, you know, the Dow is just yo-yoing all over the place. You know, a lot of you guys don't know that the Dow used to be only 34 companies. Now it's down to 30 after the rebalancing, okay? So it's funny how they push the Dow all of the time when the S&P is 500 companies, which is a better snapshot, and the Dow is only 30 now, okay? So there's so much I need to get into. Let's get this politic part out of the way right now, okay? All right, y'all cool your jets, because I know some of you politicians are. But, all right, there we go. Here's some of the news. DJT stocks rocket following whatever, okay? All right, so we heard the sound bites and all of that. We're not talking about that today. But also, Rumble actually went up too. Why did Rumble go up? Because DJT went up. It's all about, you know, your right to speak, freedom of speech, and all of that. So the stock DJT, for those of you that like to play it, and stock RUM, which is Rumble, and both of those platforms are about free speech. Okay, so play those accordingly. I talked about them this morning, and let's just go right to that one. I talked about it this morning, and I said it may be an opportunity. If you saw this morning's live, leave me a coffee cup. If you saw this morning's live where I talked about it, and I did in the Patreon, right? So look at this, good people. For the day, DJT is running crazy. Look at that, almost 19%. Look at that, 44% for the 5-day. For the month, 187%. Look at that, good people. And so why is it running now, Larry? What's the correlation now? Remember, these keep changing. The correlation keeps changing. What one quarter makes it go up, then the next quarter makes it go down. Right now, if the polls are tight, all right, let's not get into the semantics, right? The polls are showing this morning, first he was ahead, now she's closing the gap, according to these polls, which no one trusts, right? And because of that, and it's getting closer, I said on this morning's that it will probably climb this week. So if you saw that and partook of it, leave me a coffee cup. There's money to be made, okay? So let me talk about another one. Let's talk about MicroStrategy, okay? I'm just gonna come right out with it. This morning I said MicroStrategy, we remember the correlation to what? Bitcoin. Now, let's just go and let me show you guys this. A sea of red right now, a sea of red. That's not good, right? Let's get rid of that, all right? That's for the hour, for the day, still red. For the week, still red. We just gave everything back for the month in crypto. Though I think crypto is in a bullish position right now. We may have time to get to that. All right, so look at this. So if we look at Bitcoin, what? It's up for the day. We're at 67. We're almost at 69. So the rest of the market is falling off, but Bitcoin is running up. And because of that, we were looking at what? MicroStrategy, which is up 7.86%. If you look over the 5-day, 16%. Now, that's a lot. Now, and for those of you that are doing options, I gave you a play last week on how you can maximize that. And all you have to do is take the R out and add a T. And now you could see for the day, MicroStrategy leverage 1.75. And I know that there's one that's double leverage. I like this one, a little less risk. All right. And so look at it for the 5-day. Look at that, 30%. So if you're playing options, you made a lot of money and you don't even have to play options. You could just buy it. Even though it says daily, you can hold them overnight. Someone asked that question. All right. We cooking with grease right now. I'm closing these out. Close that out. We covered MicroStrategy, Apple. So Apple is up. They're buying back shares. Okay. They're buying back shares. I took some notes here that I'm going to read for you guys. And it says Apple launches its Apple AI Intelligence today. They have a Siri that's going to merge with ChatGPT in an integration, and that has been announced, but it is not fully released. They're looking at December and maybe even next year. I believe that the super cycle for Apple, or the next super cycle for the iPhone, will really be next year. Okay. And so that's what I believe. I'm actually buying more Microsoft than Apple during this time period. How about you? Earnings have been better than expected. Okay. Earnings are coming out. They're killing it, as you guys see. So speaking of earnings, while we are on that, we are going to look at a few things on earnings that I went over this morning, but I want you guys to see it too, and be aware that next week on Monday, you could see the earnings that are coming. Okay. You could see which companies have earnings, but the big boys come in Tuesday with Google. You guys see that? And AMD, right? So we're going to start getting into the chips, and then that will follow into next week. Then on Wednesday, we got Microsoft, AbbVie, we can see that, and Meta. So Microsoft and Meta are the two big dogs. And of course, Eli Lilly. All right. And then Thursday, we got Apple and Amazon. Look at that. So we got big boys reporting this week. So we want to govern ourselves accordingly. Let me know if you're playing earnings. You guys know I like to buy the rumor, sell the news. And I did enter into a McDonald's option, and it is down. And it is what we call a lottery play. I don't know what it's going to be. What really scared me is, I'll tell you all that later. I'm not going to go there. Well, I was watching CNBC, and there's a talking head that has a show that comes on, and Kramer, and he said he expect McDonald's to have a good earnings. And you guys know, whatever he says, you do the opposite and you make money. I'm joking. All right. So, hey, look at this, good people. While we're here, let's just look at this. Look at that. Blessings Monday, Larry. Been following you since the pandemic started. Thanks for all your guidance. Please shout out my husband, Charles Alano. Charles Alano, or Alana, I believe it's Alano. Charles Alano, happy birthday, Charles Alana. I hope that you are enjoying this blessed and wonderful day. All right, let's get back to some more news. So, hey, what else do we have? We got Apple, we got McDonald's, we covered Microsoft, and I want to talk about Bitcoin for a second. You know what? I'm going to just try to play you a clip.
Even with risk assets, it seems to move totally correlated with, the NASDAQ or the Magnificent Seven or whatever.
The correlations change over time. Over a 10-year time horizon, the NASDAQ correlation with Bitcoin is a 0.19, quite low. Over the last 3 months, it's a 0.5, and that's a 2.5-year high. And that may be keeping some allocators on the sideline because they want to see it fall. Our bet is that this is a very bullish setup for Bitcoin into the election. We saw the exact same pattern in 2020 where Bitcoin lagged with low volatility. And then once a winner was announced, we had a high vol rally as new buyers come into this market. And that's the great thing about Bitcoin, is that every day there's new buyers being born. It's kind of like the video game industry. The olds who hate it die off. The new folks are buying it. And what we think is that once the election result is finalized, Moody's is going to downgrade U.S. sovereign debt, and that could be a catalyst for.
You guys heard it. You guys heard it. I totally agree. It happened in 2020. That doesn't mean it's going to happen again. I know people say that all of the time. You know, it doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. If it rhymes, that's good enough for me. Got to have a plan. Let me know if you think Bitcoin is going to be higher after the election. Put Bitcoin up, yes, or just put Bitcoin, yes, if you think it's going to be up after the election. If you think it's going to be down after the election, put Bitcoin, no, all right? Not if you're buying it or not, but if it's going to be up or down. I'm going to do a live poll right here. All right, good people? Hey, today is Moo Moo Monday. Go ahead and get your 20 free stock. It's free money, but that's not the big deal. The big deal is the 8.1. That's what the big deal is on your uninvested money. I got $2,400, not from Moo Moo, but I got it from my Coinbase app, just in money that they paid me because I had my money in USDC. Okay, better than any bank savings unless you got a high yield savings account. So I was getting the same money as a high yield savings account by just having money in my app. And then of course, Stock Up You, where you can learn about stocks and crypto. Okay, don't delay. Start today. All right. I'm going to leave it right there. Those two links will be in the description below, along with $1 Million Cup of Coffee. All right, good people, we're going to leave it right there. Listen, there's a lot of money plays in here. I talked about MicroStrategy. I talked about McDonald's, okay? What else did I talk about? I talked about MicroStrategy leverage. I talked about DJT. These are some of the plays that I am in and currently making money, all except the McDonald's. It went down. I bought it too high, but we will see. All right? Love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn. We'll see you tomorrow.